So Sarah sewed. Today I thought I would share with you a week in my sewing and knitting life and just everything in between. So today it's Monday the 10th of February. I've just been at work and I'm now at the gym. So I'm going to spend a little while here. Today's forecast was around 26 degrees and I decided to wear this Alea shirt dress in a beautiful fabric that I got from Variety Hour. This was on sale in one of their warehouse sales. I think it's a linen tencel blend and I absolutely love this large scale protea print. It's buttoned all the way down the front and I've done the elasticized cuffs, and it was a really comfortable one to wear today. All right, I did my workout. I have to say, I didn't enjoy it very much. I really love my treadmill stuff. I did a good 30-minute treadmill workout, but I also did the weights program that I had made for me. But honestly, I think the thing that puts me off is just the time it takes. It was all on the machines, or most of it anyway, and you're just constantly waiting for other people to get off a machine so that you can use it. So found that really frustrating. And my time is limited. So I'm gonna have to find another way to do weights because I cannot stand standing around and waiting. So it's nearly 6:15. Time to get home, have some dinner, and then hopefully do a bit of sewing. I thought you might like to know the best thing that I've done recently to create more time in my life for doing the things I like doing, and that is that I just do not cook dinners anymore. I really began to resent cooking, especially for my children who complain about every single thing that I make. I'm so over it. So I just don't do it anymore. I've decided I don't have time to put into making things that they're not going to enjoy anyway. There are really good quality sort of ready-made meals that I can purchase instead. And I was doing HelloFresh last year, but you still have to cook the meals in that case. I liked the variety, but it was just the cooking that I was still finding was taking a lot of my time up. So it's nearly 6:45, and usually that would be too late to start cooking dinner, and therefore I wouldn't have been able to give myself that time to go to the gym. But because I knew that I didn't have to cook, I was able to go. So what I'm doing is buying frozen meals that get delivered to my house. Tonight's dinner is a Thai vegetable and tofu curry, and that's made by the Dinner Ladies. Haven't tried this one before. This is a new company to me. Not sponsored in any way, I just hate cooking. So I'll get that one warmed up, and then it won't be a very big cleanup tonight. And then I'll have hopefully a couple of hours to spend doing some sewing or some knitting or some cutting or whatever I decide to do tonight. So you've probably worked out that tonight my children are with their dad, so it's just me tonight. So this meal will be my dinner tonight and then my lunch tomorrow. And yeah, I'll let you know how it is. Well, the dinner was delicious, and now it's time for me to get into some sewing. So last night I was able, once my children were in bed, I was able to hem the sleeves and the bottom of this Cameron button up by Helen's Closet. So the only thing I have to do now is add the buttonholes and the buttons. So my goal tonight is to get all of the buttonholes sewn on. This one requires 7 buttonholes. So first I'll do a little bit of a trial run on a scrap of the same fabric, and hopefully all of the buttonholes will go in very smoothly, no dramas, and yeah, it'll be one step closer to being finished. Practice one went in pretty smoothly. I've just realized I haven't actually marked up where my buttonholes need to go on my shirt, so I'll do that and then I'll move on to the real thing. The thing that I actually find hardest about doing buttonholes, obviously I've got a machine that does them really well. For me, it's making sure I line them up vertically in a row. Sometimes I'll get one just off, or more than one, a little bit wonky. And that's the hardest thing for me, is making sure that I start them in the same place every time. So hopefully I'll have a good night tonight. when I was talking about how wonderful my machine was at doing buttonholes. The very first one, it just got stuck at the top and made this lovely mess. So now I have to unpick that. Very annoying. I might try and do another one first and see if the second one is better. Oh my gosh, how stressful are buttonholes? They really are. Stressful and horrible at the end of a project. That one was fine. Pretty well placed as well. So I'm happy with that one and I'll keep going. So they all went in really easily for the rest of the placket. I'm not sure what happened on that first one. I don't know. Maybe the machine could sense my fear or something because that was so annoying. And buttonhole stitches are so tight and hard to unpick. But anyway, I'll do it. I've just got to do one more as well up in this little section here on that top bit of the, on the collar stand. And that one I'm always a little bit nervous about too, just the placement, and also just it's a little bit thicker under there. So hopefully that one will go in well. I do like to have my, a buttonhole there because sometimes I like to have my shirts buttoned all the way up to the top. So hopefully that one will be fine. And then I'll unpick this one and do that one again. And yeah, then the buttonholes will be done. Then I do have a buttonhole chisel, and so I'll open them up, put some fray stop on them and let that dry, and then tomorrow night I'll sew the buttons on, I think. Okay, so I unpicked that top button. The replacement went in really nicely. I've now opened up all the buttonholes and I've put some fray check on them, and I'm just going to let that dry. And I think I'm just going to leave that until tomorrow now. Maybe. It's about 8:30 p.m. and I've got an early start tomorrow. So that means I'm going to try and get an early night. I was hoping to cut out my next project tonight, but it's just too late. That just takes me too long. I would normally take about, honestly, 90 minutes to 2 hours to cut out a project, depending on the size of the project. So this is the Durban jumpsuit that I'm going to be cutting out, and there's a lot of pieces and I know it would take quite a long time. I'm pretty slow at it. So instead of doing that, I'm going to sit on the couch, maybe have a cup of tea, watch some TV and do some knitting. I'm going to work on my Glow Hair Frost shawl because I'm loving it and I'm excited to keep going on it. I've knit 2 rows on my shawl tonight, and now it is 9:40 p.m. and it's time to get ready for bed. I have a really early start tomorrow morning. I like to be at work by 7:05. I have a choir rehearsal that starts at 7:20, so it'll be an early start. I need to do a bit of tidying and get myself ready for bed, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday now. It has just gone 6:35 and I'm about to leave for work pretty soon. It's going to be 30 degrees today, so I have got on a Lyra Shirt Dress, my pink sandals again. I love this dress. This fabric I used a Doops Designs Tencel twill, and it's got the most beautiful drape. It's so comfortable. Love this dress, and yeah, I'm going to be comfy today. Well, I got away from work early because I got to school so early. It's nearly 4 o'clock and I'm heading to the gym, ready to go on the treadmill again tonight. Okay, my workout's done and I'm off to get my children from school. So they go to after school care every day. There's no way I could get them from school on time with my job, and so because they're there, I take advantage of that and I go to the gym when I can. So I'm definitely trying to put exercise as one of my priorities this year. So far so good. And I think that's also where the, outsourcing the cooking is coming into play as well. If I can save myself time by doing that, and it means I get to look after my own physical and mental health, then that's an absolute priority for me. So it's 5 o'clock, off to get the boys. They expect me about 5, and I'll check in with you later. Again, it's nearly 10:30 at night now, and I'm about to get ready for bed, but I did want to show you what I got done on my Cameron button up. I didn't quite get it finished, but I have sewn on 5 out of the 8 buttons, so that's going quite well. So I've just been sitting here and doing them for like the last half hour or so. So I've got 1, 2, 3 to go, and then I'm hoping to wear that by the end of the week. Tonight for dinner, we did have one of the meals that everyone seems to be happy with. It's a build your own taco or taco bowl meal. So that was really nice. It took quite a while to get all of our things done tonight. The boys, I just ended up tucking my 10-year-old in about 10 minutes ago. So not a lot of time to myself tonight, but we did have a lovely evening and I got a little bit done, so can't complain. Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday now, and it's going to be a hot one today. It's going to be 34 degrees, I think. So I am wearing my Peppermint Peplum top that I made recently, Chanterelle pants, and my pink sandals again. Trying to keep cool today. No gym for me tonight because I just met 2 of my very good friends and we went for dinner at an Ethiopian restaurant and it was the Abyssinian. Absolutely delicious. This is my friend Louise and now she's going to come home and stay over because she lives about 2 hours out of Melbourne. So we're going to get the train home. And did you bring your knitting? No. You can just watch me knit. Actually, we probably won't get home till about 9:30, so it'll probably be bedtime anyway.
I'll probably fall asleep on the train.
Alright, so it's nearly 10 o'clock and we've just got home from our lovely night out. I won't be staying up and doing more knitting, but I did take my knitting with me because I travelled by train tonight. It's about an hour door to door. Where I went. So I went to a place called the Abyssinian in Flemington. Absolutely beautiful food. And I almost got 3 rows done on my shawl. So you can see that section is coming along nicely. I've got, I think, 5 rows after this one to go until I get to move on to the next section. So very happily working away on that one. And yeah. So tomorrow's forecast is for 38 degrees, but with a cool change in the afternoon. It's supposed to be my kids' school picnic night. So taking dinner, having a picnic, and then playing some outdoor games with the teachers. But I'm not sure it's going to happen because of the forecast. So there's supposed to be a cool change, really gusty winds and thunderstorms, basically at exactly the same time as when this picnic's happening. So I'm not sure what we'll end up doing tomorrow evening. It would be a really lovely evening if it was to go ahead, but not if the weather's horrible. So we'll see what happens and I'll see you again tomorrow. Good morning everyone. It is now Thursday morning. It's 6:30 and yeah, it's an early one again for me today. I have a before school rehearsal, so I'll be leaving the house soon. It's going to be a hot one. Forecast is for 38 degrees before a cool change. So today I've got a Ashton top on by Helen's Closet in this awesome Lisa Congdon design with a clo bias skirt in green linen from Spotlight. So should keep me cool and comfortable. Well, I've just finished work. It's about 36 degrees and there's a storm on its way, but my kids' school hasn't cancelled the picnic. So I'm off to get my children, go and pick up some food that we can eat and hope that the picnic happens before the rain arrives. But I think that's being pretty hopeful. All right, so I went to pick up my children from school and I thought that they might say they didn't want to go to the picnic because the forecast was so bad, but they were keen to go. So we went and then the cool change came about 10 minutes later. It started raining and the event was cancelled after we'd been there for about 20 minutes. So the night didn't really go to plan. It was a bit disappointing for everybody, but we came home and we just had a normal night at home with the kids doing the homework and guitar practice and things like that. I got to sew the final few buttons on my Cameron button up. So that's finished now. All the buttons are on and I'm excited to wear that to work tomorrow. So as I said, the cool changes come. It's only going to be 24 degrees tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to having the perfect weather to give that shirt its debut. And then once the kids were in bed, I also did a row and a half of my shawl, some knitting. So that was a nice way to finish up the day. It's quite late now. I have to get to bed. Really looking forward to the weekend and I'll see you again tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. It's Friday. It's just after 8 a.m. Had a really hectic morning trying to get the kids off to before school care on time, but I'm at work now. Haven't taken any photos, but I am wearing my new Cameron shirt and I will show you the full outfit later. I'm so proud of it. I love it. Well, as you can see, I did get some photos in my new Cameron button up. My colleague was very happy to help me do a little modeling session out in the courtyard at work. And I loved wearing this today. So I just wore it with a pair of ready to wear pants that I've had for a few years. And yeah, I felt great, really comfortable. The great thing about the Cameron button-up shirt, I think, or one of the great things, is even though it buttons all the way up and I like the look of it worn all the way up, there's plenty of room around the neck. You never feel like it's tight or anything like that. So I was very comfortable in it and yeah, very happy with that. Had lots of lovely comments from my workmates. So on Fridays, I have a rehearsal until 5. And this week is my weekend with the boys. So after that, I picked them up. We just had a quiet night at home. I got 2 more rows of my knitting done once the boys were in bed. Again, I was working on my shawl. I only have 2 more rows of this section to go now until I move on to the next section. And I think I'm going to try and use that as a motivation to get a few more rows of the Whitmore cardigan done. Because the next section I do get to add in the pinks again and I want to have that as a bit of a carrot to get more of the Whitmore done up. So I'm going to move back to the Whitmore after I finish the next 2 rows of this and I should get time this weekend. This weekend we really don't have much planned at all. One of my children has a guitar lesson in the morning. The other one wants a haircut at some point this weekend. But apart from that, we are very free. It's going to be not great weather, I think 18 and raining tomorrow, so very different to what we've been having. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I reckon they'll just want to have a quiet weekend at home, so I should get quite a bit of time to myself to sew and knit as well. But I'll let you know what we end up doing and I'll see you then. Good morning, it is Saturday. We are very happy it's the weekend. I've just taken my youngest son to guitar and we're home now. It's a bit of a cool day today, I think 17 degrees and patchy rain is about. So I think we're going to be spending most of the day at home. I've got chores to do. The kids are just happy, relaxing, and hopefully I'll get some time to do some sewing and some knitting. The sewing, I need to cut out my next project. So I'm thinking still I'm going to cut out my Durban jumpsuit by Megan Nielsen, but that will take me a couple of hours. So hopefully I'll get time to do that today. And at the moment I'm wearing a very standard weekend outfit for myself. I've got the Jackson tee by Helen's Closet in this Doops Designs cotton jersey. And then this is the Marlo sweater in the long length by True Bias. And I'm wearing it with jeans at the moment, but I'm just about to go up and swap it for some tracksuit pants, my Chanterelle pants made in French terry, so I can be super comfortable at home. As predicted, we had a pretty quiet day, but not quite as quiet as I thought it was going to be. So my 10-year-old son, Jules, he was invited to go to watch a soccer match. So he went and did that for the evening. And Raf, my younger son, invited a friend over for the afternoon and then for dinner. So they both had a nice time with their friends. I did a little bit of knitting on my shawl this afternoon, and then I made good on my promise to myself that then I would move on to the Whitmore cardigan before going on to adding the pink into my shawl. So tonight I did 4 rows of my Whitmore cardigan, and I've just done the decrease row, and I'm about to move on to 13 rows of ribbing for the hem, and then I get to get rid of these double pointed needles that have been giving me so much grief. So that will be good. So I'm going to try and prioritize that because then I'll get onto the sleeves and that should be quite quick. I also made a batch of delicious cookies this afternoon, and then I've spent quite a bit of time starting to put this video together because the editing does take a long time and I want to get this out tomorrow. So tomorrow, again, we don't have a lot of plans. We'll try and do the haircut, or we will do the haircut that we didn't do today for Jules. And I think I'm going to take the boys to the library for them to choose some new books to read as well. So very, very loose plans for tomorrow, and hopefully, finally, I will get to cut out my next sewing project as well. Hi everyone, it's Sunday and it's just after 5 o'clock. And I've just dropped my boys off at their dad's house and I've arrived at the gym. And I'm excited to do a workout on the treadmill after what's been a pretty sedentary weekend, to be honest. I prefer to be a bit more active than I have been this weekend, but it's just tricky on some weekends, and especially when the weather wasn't that great. But today we did get to the library and we got to the shops, got prepared for the week ahead. But yeah, now I've got time to do a workout, and then I'll go home, choose something for dinner, and then finally cut out my Durban jumpsuit. I decided on a very quick and easy dinner tonight, which was extremely delicious. And now I have just started on my cutting of my Durban play suit. I think the most time consuming job for me is done, which is laying out all the fabric and the pieces and making sure I can get everything to fit. And now I'm going to get this video up and edited and hopefully uploaded tonight. So that is kind of a typical week in my life and how I sort of fit in some sewing and knitting along the way. I think the weekends that I don't have the children with me are usually much more productive in terms of how much sewing time I get. But I also think because I didn't have my next project ready to go, I didn't do any sewing in small pockets of time where I normally might. So it's not unusual for me to just pick up a project and sew for a little while in the evenings, but I didn't have the opportunity so much this week because I only had those buttonholes to go on the Cameron shirt. But I did use my time where I could to do some knitting, so that was good to especially get back into the week more, which I feel very satisfied with. So thank you all very much for joining me for this week. Hopefully it was a little bit interesting, and I'll look forward to seeing you again next week in my next video. Bye bye.